You finally did the responsible thing. You stopped spending everything. You started putting money aside. 100 here, 200 there, month after month, and you did not touch it. And one day you open the app, and there it is. $10,000. Real money that you built. You feel like an adult. Careful. Disciplined. Ahead of where you were. Then you look at the interest line. $50. That is what an entire year of discipline paid you. $50 for $10,000 sitting still for 12 months. And somewhere in your chest, a small voice asks the question nobody wants to say out loud. Am I doing this wrong? You're not doing it wrong. You're only doing half of it. Because right now you have one pile of money, and it is trying to do two completely different jobs at the same time. It cannot do both. By the end of this video, that one pile becomes two. And here is the part that surprises people. One of those two piles should never be invested. Not now. Not in 10 years. Not when the market is climbing and everyone you know is making money. Most people get that backwards. They invest the pile that should have stayed still, and they leave the pile that should have been growing. Stay with me, because getting these two in the wrong order is what turns a good decision into a disaster. Let us put numbers on it. $10,000 in a normal savings account, earning 1%. Leave it completely alone for 20 years. You end with $12,202. Now the same $10,000 in a broad market fund averaging 8%. Same 20 years, equally untouched. $46,610. That is $34,000 of difference for making one decision differently on the same day with the same money. And it gets more uncomfortable than that. The biggest wealth gap is not between people who spend and people who save. It is between people who save and people who invest. Two people can be equally disciplined and still end up in completely different lives. But here is the number that actually matters, and almost nobody puts it on screen. $300 a month. 25 years. 8%. You put in $90,000 of your own money. You end with $285,000, which means $195,000 of that, 68% of your final balance, was never your money at all. That was time doing the work. Now watch what happens if you wait. Same $300 a month, same 8%, but you start 5 years later. $176,000. Waiting 5 years cost you $108,000. That is more than everything you contributed across the entire 25 years. You did not lose that by making a bad decision. You lost it by not making one. So here is the order. 3 steps, and the order is the entire point. Step 1. Build the pile that never moves. 3 to 6 months of your real expenses in cash in a savings account, and it stays there. This is the pile that should never be invested. Ever. This works because the main reason people lose money in the market is not a crash. It is needing the money during a crash and being forced to sell. Your emergency fund is not there to grow. It is there so that a broken car does not turn into a sold portfolio. Skip this step, and the first bad month of your life will undo 10 good years. Step 2. Split the money in your head, not only in your account. 2 piles. Safety money and growth money. Different jobs, different rules. Safety money is allowed to be boring. Growth money is allowed to drop. This works because most people quit investing for emotional reasons, not financial ones. If you have not decided in advance which money is allowed to fall, then every red day feels like an emergency. Skip this step, and you will sell at the worst possible moment, and it will feel like a smart decision while you're doing it. Step 3. Start smaller than feels serious and automated. Not $200 a month. Once you feel ready, $20 a month, starting this week, moving by itself. This works because the amount is not what you are buying. You are buying years, and years only arrive one way. And automating it removes the decision. Every month you have to decide again is a month you might not. Skip this step, and you'll spend 3 years waiting to feel ready. Those 3 years are the expensive ones. Now, the question you have been holding since the beginning. What if I start investing and the market crashes? It will. Not might. Will. There have been dozens of crashes, and every one of them is already inside that 8% average. The average did not happen instead of the crashes. It happened through them. But here is what nobody tells beginners. If you're still adding money every month, A falling market is not damage. It is a discount. The same $300 buys more shares when prices drop. Your worst-feeling months are quietly your most productive ones. That only works under one condition, that you do not need the money right then, which is exactly why step one is step one. The emergency fund is not the cautious part of this plan. It is the thing that makes the risky part survivable. So, all of it in order. 1. 3 to 6 months of expenses in cash, and you leave it alone forever. 2. Split the rest into safety money and growth money in your head before anything happens. 3. Start small, automate it, and let it run. Saving protects what you have. Investing grows it. They are not competitors, and you never had to choose between them. What you do choose is the order. And the order is what most people get wrong, because the cost of getting it wrong is not measured in one bad year. It is measured in the 10 years you spent waiting to feel ready. So tell me where you actually are right now. Are you still in the saving stage, with everything sitting in one account? Or have you already split it and started? And if you're still in the first group, tell me what is stopping you. I read these.